The 2024 Golden Ticket Awards are out. We're going to talk about some of the top categories on this week's episode. Welcome in, everyone, to this week's episode of Rollercoaster Rants. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're going to talk about something that came out recently, and that's going to be the 2024 Golden Ticket Awards. And for the theme park industry, it's a pretty big thing. It's something that a lot of people take a look at. In parks especially, it means a lot to them. But Amusement today factors in votes from different enthusiasts and journalists from across the roller coaster industry to gather these awards. So we're going to go over some of the categories, to give our reactions to them, and let us know what you all think below as well. And in the comments, be sure to give us a like and subscribe as well. But to start us off, we're going to start with one of the bigger categories, and that's
it's going to be the best amusement park. And number one this year was Europa-Park in Germany. And Europa-Park, it's kind of the hub of mock rides. And they opened Voltron new for this year. But overall, we haven't got the chance to get out there. But it just looks like a fantastic park. They almost have like the Epcot ball in the middle, and they kind of have like a Busch Gardens Williamsburg theme of like different countries going on. Great food, beautiful landscape, and of course, great coasters. So definitely deserving of that number one spot.
And I don't think that there's any surprise to see Europa-Park as the top spot, because all across social media over the course of the summer, you see Voltron, you see everybody talking about Europa, and a lot of people going, a lot of videos there, and it's definitely become a bucket list coaster for us, or a bucket list park for us.
Yeah.
And so no really surprise to see it take the top spot.
Yeah. Number two, we've got Dollywood. Which of course Dollywood, you'll see them a lot on this list. It is an incredible theme park. It's one of the true, outside of Disney Universal, one of the true theme parks in the US. It's not plopping down rides. It's actually like a very good theme. And then just touching on number three, neither of us definitely never been here, and it's Tokyo Disney Sea. So we'll go over to Marcus for the next category.
Maybe we should add Tokyo Disney Sea to our bucket list as well.
We got to go. Third best theme park.
Yeah, man. Okay, best family coaster, and this one is going to be none other than Dollywood. It's going to be Big Bear Mountain, and this one a Vekoma. And it's a coaster that won Smooth, and it's been getting a lot of rave reviews. Super excited to get down there and try that one. So super excited.
Yeah, super long coaster. You have the multi launches, and then of course it's new Vekoma, so it's just a beautifully smooth ride. So,
and the one to follow it up, number two for the best family coaster, Good Gravy at Holiday World. And so another Vekoma, and really smooth. So both those coasters coming in for the notches on the best family coaster.
Yeah, Vekoma's killing the game for sure. Moving along to best water park ride, and it's going to be Wildebeest at Splash and Safari Holiday World. It's actually won 12 different times, taking away the award from Mammoth last year. Listen, if you like water parks at all, get out to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. Not only can you marathon the Voyage and ride Thunderbird and marathon Legend and go on Good Gravy, but you can go to two of the last two winners and a 12-time winner of Best Water Park Ride. Both water coasters, both incredible.
I mean, I was literally just thinking, like, how awesome is it that Splash and Safari has, took the award away from itself, and right back to itself again. So I think that just speaks to it, that not only does Holiday World have just fantastic coasters, but they've got a fantastic water park that you've definitely got to get out to. Definitely on our bucket list for next year as well, because I have never been.
I've been, great things, but it's been a while. So I have heard Wildebeest though, and I loved it.
I can't wait to ride them both.
You launch uphill in a water coaster. It's a weird feeling in a good way.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get out to it, but moving on, we're going to keep this back at Dollywood for myself, because the best kids area goes to Dollywood, and I think it's pretty easy to say why. There are tons of flat rides. I mean, you look at Dollywood's website from top to bottom, and they've got a little something for every single age group. So tons of flat rides, but also they've really focused on something that maybe thrill seekers would like to see differently with Dollywood, but in this area, it's really worked, and it's because they focused on the family coasters like Big Bear Mountain. You've got Blazing Fury, which is an older coaster, but I'm going to be honest, it's more of a kind of a dark ride feel, but it's still a lot of fun. Part of their, I think it's Wildwood Grove, is Dragon Flyer and Fire Chaser Express, and so there's so many different portions for different age groups that Dollywood's really taken the time to build out, which one I think makes them definitely the contender for the best amusement park, but also because they've gone all out to make sure that every age group is catered to. So
Yeah.
Dollywood definitely can see why they have the best kids area.
Yeah, and that kind of segues us into the next award, which is Best Guest Experience, and it is also Dollywood. And I can just kind of piggyback off of everything Marcus said for that. To the shows, to the food, to the kids area, to the thrill coasters, to everything. It's got something for everyone, which is why I think it won Best Guest Experience. It makes perfect sense.
This the ambiance of it all, and that goes into our next category, just the most beautiful park. It's If you've never been to the Great Smoky Mountains, you definitely have to get out there and go. It's situated just outside of Pigeon Forge, and it's just outside of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. You can see the mountain. You're amongst the mountains, and you can see the mountains as well. One of my favorite experiences, I'd say, whenever I've been, is riding Wild Eagle, and cresting the top of the mountain that kind of is in the center of Dollywood. Because if you've never been, it kind of makes a big circle around just a big mountain, essentially a big hill. And they've started expanding beyond that circle, but for the longest time, it was just that circle. And Wild Eagle is on the back of the park, kind of going up that mountain, and just the views that you get. Is really just one of the best views that you can ask for when you're at an amusement park, because it doesn't feel like you're solely at an amusement park. It feels like you're out in nature. They've even got a wild eagle exhibit where you can look and watch wild eagles as well. So it's they've gone, just kind of like I said, they've gone through so much time and dedication to make sure that regardless of your interest level in roller coasters or different types of rides, or if you don't like them, you can still go and have a good time, even with the shows, with the food. And so it's just a beautiful park. And the train ride has to be one of the best train rides at any.
I can imagine with how scenic everything is. Just kind of
It's absolutely beautiful. The train takes you up into the mountains. You do the circle and you come back, but still the fact that you're up and you're out there, and the park disappears out of the way. You're not amongst it, which if you like being amongst the coasters and everything, then that's definitely going to be a different feel, especially for a train ride. Because I know train ride at like Cedar Point, you're right there on the water's edge, which is beautiful, but you're amongst the coasters. Dollywood's, it takes you away.
You're out in wilderness,
and you've kind of some ambiance. So definitely can see why it's the most beautiful park, and definitely fitting.
Yeah. And then moving right along, we've talked about Dollywood quite a bit here. They took home a lot of awards. Moving along, best innovation of 2024. It's actually going to go to Holiday World, and it's because they had an audience participation drone show. So they had four different drone shows that people that were attending the park that day can vote on, and then just based on that, it changed. And really, really beautiful drone show, kind of a different cool thing. They mixed it with fireworks, and really kind of something, it feels something that feels like Disney World esque. At Holiday World, which is a family park, which is kind of why it was so impressive. So Holidays in the Sky was voted the best innovation of 2024.
And I think that's fitting because Kings Island, they've got that nightly fireworks drone show, but as me, a guest, a season guest, pass holder, you know what you're gonna get. It's
Yeah,
under the lights at Kings Island every single night, and it's the same exact 5 minute show. So once you see it, it's done. But the fact that you can go to Holiday World and there's 4 different shows that you could potentially see, I really think that it's cool. That's a different aspect of just a nightly show that they've done.
for sure.
Um,
And then moving
yeah.
along, we've got the best new theme of 2024, and that is going to be Good Gravy. We both can attest to this. We just went on it about a month ago, and it really does feel like something that's not in Holiday World, because usually Holiday World there, it's got decent theming. Usually the rides aren't themed very very well, and this is just completely different. You're in a house. There's different rooms of the house. They have aromas in there where you can actually smell like turkey and gravy, and it's beautiful. And then you're riding on a roller coaster that is a gravy boat. So it's just it's a step up for Holiday World. It feels like something that's in a Disney or Universal park, and theming on it is just really good for sure.
Walking through the queue, my wife Taylor was taking photos of every single section, and you essentially walk through an old house.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we're not
and
really the that's cute kind of people, but it was pretty cute.
it was pretty cute. Like
Yeah.
Taylor was taking so many photos, and she was sending it to her parents and saying, "Hey, look at this." And so a lot of time and dedication went to that,
And
and
money.
and a lot of money to that. So hats off
But good
to
that
Hollywood
they're
World.
spending money on to make the park kind of stand out.
Yeah, and I really think that it does.
It's paying off,
For
clearly.
a small family owned park, for them to get a theming
Yeah,
award,
true.
that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Okay, moving on to now some more roller coaster
Yeah,
categories.
while you're here, the
While you're
roller
here,
coasters.
let's talk about some roller coasters. And this one is one that's been talked about a lot. It's the best new roller coaster of 2024, and that's none other than Voltron at Europa Park. Mock Rides did a number on this one,
Yeah.
and let's just list off some of the accolades on why it is the number one new roller coaster for 2024. It's got the world record steepest launch,
Yeah, it
105
launches you
degrees.
up and over, like backwards almost, when you're in
Like,
inversion.
how insane is that?
It's incredible.
And meanwhile, you're also going to go through 7 inversions. There's 4 different launches, and it's the first ever striker coaster.
Yeah, hopefully the
So,
mock striker, I can only assume that people are going to buy this model like hotcakes, because
you're going to see it soon. Surely to goodness, at a lot of
this, and then the extreme spinners like mock, they do some state of the art, like different stuff over there, and I think they're going to burst onto the scene with these kind of things for sure.
Well, and they, the fact that they were able to capture the the number one spot in what was truthfully a strong year,
Really stronger, yeah.
for a lot of for new coasters. Of course, I feel like one of the main contenders unfortunately didn't really get to contend, with that being Top Thrill 2 this year. But
Yeah.
Unless you count 7 days of operating.
Zamperla. Zamperla!
Come on now. Let's get it fixed for 2025. New for 25.
And maybe a new coaster for 2025. Wow.
I know. I'm excited.
Maybe we'll get into that in another episode.
But just to kind of list off some of the other ones that could have been voted on, or could have been top spot as well. It's number 2. It's a Bobcat at Six Flags Great Escape. Yep. And then number 3, Hyperia. And of course, none other. Number 4, Good Gravy.
Good Gravy.
So Good Gravy taking in one of the spots.
And Hyperia, the other mock ride and hypercoaster. So
Mock's doing some big things.
They are. And that next we're gonna go with the best wooden coaster award, and
this tough.
This one hurts to say, but it's Phoenix at Knoebels. Really, whenever you have the buzz bars, the super old fashioned trains, and you just get so much airtime on that in that last stretch. in no way do I think it was the best, and I don't think a lot of enthusiasts think it's the best. You've got rides like, well, number two, second place was the Voyage, and then you've got the Beast, which had its highest finish since 1998, which is a little surprising, but they did
I was
retrack it, and it's definitely smoother. I see that. You've got Thunderhead at Dollywood, you've got Mystic Timbers, and that kind of rounded out the top five on it. I mean, of course, knowing me, you know that the Voyage is easily the number one wooden coaster in the world, not up for debate. But it got number two, so I can't be too mad. But yeah, Phoenix is now the sixth consecutive win, so they're now the all-time leader for golden ticket wooden coaster award. So good for them, but I just don't. We can't agree on it with them all, but good for them.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I mean, I'm sure it hurts that the Voyage isn't number one there, but no,
I'm used to it. They haven't been for a bit.
I mean, hats off to them. I'm honestly looking down the list. I was surprised to see Beast number three.
Yeah, same. Very surprised. I think Mystic Timbers is a lot better than the Beast.
Yeah, well, and Mystic Timbers comes in at number 5, Thunderhead at Dollywood number 4, and just a couple of other notable placements. The Legend from Holiday World at 18, the Raven 35, and Racer Kings Island coming in at 42. So I will say though, as a Kings Island homer, I love the fact that Kings Island's got 2 of the top 5.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about the number one wooden roller coaster from the Golden Ticket Award, and now we're going to move on to the number one best steel coaster for this year. This one, I feel like, comes as not a surprise because it had 8 consecutive wins, and it's a 9-time winner, according to Amusement today. That is Fury 325 down at Carowinds, and it's a coaster I cannot wait to get on.
Yep.
I mean, it just looks awesome.
320-foot 5 giga, very long ride, very smooth. Like, what more can you ask? It's definitely one of the best coasters in the world, of course, and that's why it's here. I don't think you're gonna get a lot of arguments. I think when it comes to the top steel coaster, I think it's just more opinion based. Like, you could go Velocicoaster, you could go Steel Vengeance, you go Iron Gwazi. There's just a ton of different coasters that you can have. They have Fury 325, and you can't say they're wrong. It's just again, it's just a matter of taste when you get to the great roller coasters.
Yeah, and I mean it really is. And because you look at the top 5, counting down from 5, Iron Gwazi, number 4, Millennium Force, number 3, Steel Vengeance, number 2, Velocicoaster. I mean, that competition is just stacked.
Yeah.
So hats off
to see a Millennium Force still kicking. 2000 roller coaster from 2000 still kicking on here.
Not too shabby.
Along with Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England, Intamin they do the classics really well.
Very much so. Maverick at 10. And we've been
a lot of Intamin, a lot of RMC, and some Max.
Yeah,
or Mox. So,
some other notable ones for us. Diamondback came in as a tie with Iron Rattler at 20. Lightning Rod, that's an RMC I can't wait to get on. I went to Dollywood back in 2018 solely for Lightning Rod, and of course I was one of the ones that didn't get to ride it due to it going down that day.
It was a lot back then.
So, and then Big Bear Mountain, as we've discussed in this list, 32. X2 was tied with Big Bear Mountain at 32 as well, and then Magnum, all those Magnum stands, it's 36th on this list. And Banshee at 38 and Orion at 43. So really good placements for several of our coasters, both wooden and steel from our home parks. Let us know what you think. What would you vote for as your best steel coaster, as your best wooden roller coaster? And
best theme park.
Best theme park, yeah. I think that could go a lot of different ways. And, these awards are just a collection of certain people's thoughts. As we've
Yeah.
said before, roller coasters are so subjective, and it's all relative to the person. Ryan loves more of a rough wooden roller coaster, and I like more of a smooth steel roller coaster. So it really depends on what you like. But let us know what you think, and we'll be happy to discuss it down in the comments.
All right. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.